To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This time I'm going to ask Councilman McLeod to say the invocation.
Let us bow our heads in prayer. Most gracious and everlasting Father, it's once more again we come to say thank you for your grace and mercy. We ask you to bless everyone here individually and collectively. We ask you to keep us under your care and under your will. We just praise you for everything that you're doing in our lives. We ask you to bless this council that we come together and make the right decision for this county moving forward. We give you praise for everything that you're doing right now. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Number 3, approval of agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to amend the agenda, and I'd like to go into executive session of landfill contractual matters.
A motion to amend the agenda, landfill contractual matter to executive session. Motion, second.
I second.
All in favor? Any opposed? All right, need a motion to approve the amended agenda. Motion. Motion second. All in favor? Any opposed? 4, approval of minutes, 6/26/19. Required a motion.
Make that motion, Mr. Chair.
Motion, and a second.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor? 5, public hearing. A, authorizing the issuance and sale of not exceeding $1 million general obligation bonds in one or more series of Dillon County, South Carolina, fixing the form and details of the bonds, authorizing the chairman of the county council and county administrator to determine certain matters. B, Sheriff JAG grant.
Mr. Chairman, Council, the Justice Assistant grant awarded this year is $12,291, and we will be applying those monies towards the purchase of a patrol car.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Thank you.
All right. 6, new business. A, recognition of 12U Ponytail Ladder Girls World Series champion. We're going to call them up here one at a time, then they can stay and share. Go ahead and read that there. Just read what it says and we'll call them up. All right. It says the Dillon, come on over here with me, Dave. It says the Dillon County Council recognizes the Ladder 12U Traditional Ponytails World Series champion presented on August 28, 2019 by the Dillon County Council. And we're going to call all the girls up here. Madison Griffey.
I seen all this lined up, and we just like, thank you, congratulations.
Maddie Cowell. Madison Kersey.
Congratulations.
Sam Townsend. Congratulations. Sierra Lambert. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Tamara Locklear. Tamara Locklear. All right. Michaela Huggins.
There you go. Congratulations.
Maddie Barrett. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Caitlin Johnson. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Emily McIntyre. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Erica Roberts.
Congratulations.
Coach Bill Cowell. Congratulations, sir. And Coach David Johnson. Yes, sir. Congratulations. Hey, we're very proud of these girls for winning the World Series. That's a great accomplishment.
Mr. Chairman, when I heard that they were going to the World Series for the second time, and I saw who the girls were and who the coaches were, I knew we had a good chance.
That's right. That's right. But once again, I want to say congratulations to y'all and do it again next year. Okay? Hey, we thank y'all for all the help. Dillon County, the people in Dillon County, right everywhere, the county council. Just thank everybody for all the help because we couldn't have done it without all the support. You're welcome. Thank you. Congratulations again.
Get back just a little bit there, so you fix. Wait a minute, don't move yet.
That's right.
Okay. Take 2 shots. 1, 2, 3. Hold up for 1 second. Let it recharge. On 3 again. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
6B, E911 Canon image McGrath large format plotter.
Okay, yeah, this is a request from Sonny with 911. His request the plotter and the price of it was over $5,000. It's $5,381.15. And this through a subscriber bill, so we'll get reimbursed.
What exactly is it?
That's this.
What is it?
Oh,
It's a big printer. It's a big printer where we can print our maps off, all geographic of the county, whenever someone needs one, especially for emergency issues, like for Moses down there when they, in case a hurricane or anything, we can always pinpoint. And it's also accessible for tax assessment officers too, when they go out to assess the county, we can give them maps of those geographic areas.
Somebody will reimburse you to.
Well, I do a reimbursement every quarter from the state, and that called subscriber billing money, what I get, and I put it in an account. It's only used for a couple of employees and also for buying equipment. So it's good, it's there. So once we get this piece of equipment, and once we pay for it, next quarter I have it sent in, we can get 85% of that back reimbursement. Thank you, Chief.
Requires a motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? 6C, front arms garbage truck.
Okay, this is to repair the garbage truck that was wrecked. These, I think Charlie's been trying to straighten the arms on it, but he hadn't been successful in doing that. Just to replace the arms that dump the box in the back of the truck. And this $16,000 for the arms.
That's a question here. Mr. Clyde, is that the reason why we having all this back?
Yes, it is absolutely the reason that we've had that, as we know, that truck was involved in a wreck, involved in an accident, and the gate arms were damaged on that. And so what we have to do in its place is rent another vehicle from a private service. Now, the rental on that vehicle would run about $8,000 a month if we continue that. So we can either not spend the money and just keep renting, and also when we rent from that company, they don't run the full day. They only run about 4 or 5 hours for 3 to 4 days a week, just depending on the load. So they don't get a chance to get everything that we need to get, and that's why we're behind. So spending the money, it may sound like an expensive ordeal, but not only are we going to save in the long run from having to rent, but we're also going to be able to get caught up, and so that our customers and our citizens will be satisfied with our service. So that's why it's so important for us to go ahead and get it done now.
What was the price on that again?
It's $16,000, $16,027.
If it's on 16,000, we had to pay 8,000 a month until we got much choice, but it's on the
Got a motion and a second. Motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? All right. 6E, recreation request.
Okay, we have one from, the GCS Booster Club asked Harold Moody to give a $150 ad. You're going to do that, right? Okay. Does anybody else want to give ad to GCS Booster Club? Okay, and the other one is the Dillon County, it's in your packet too, the Dillon County Predators Football and Mentor Group. Their purpose is to teach kids more than football, and this program will give them a chance to travel and explore different places, meet current and former NFL players, college scores, and expose their talent for winning the state championship and playing for a national championship in Orlando, Florida. G is gonna give 100 to this. Does anybody else want to give?
You want. And the reason I say that, I just want to make this statement, I think that's a good program. When you look into it now, because a lot of kids, especially in Dillon, don't make it to play on the next level. But they need to understand if they don't make it on the next level, life goes on. And there is something else they can do, and I think they need to reach out to mentors that can do that for them. So I support that.
Anybody else? Okay, that's all we have for right now.
Requires a motion.
Don't move.
Motion need a second.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? 7, old business. A, spraying for mosquitoes.
Mr. Chairman, I've had several calls about how bad mosquitoes are, and they say out in the county, but they're just as bad as my backyard, and I live inside the town limits, and they're about as bad as they were after the hurricane. But when we had the hurricane last year, we bought some expensive spraying equipment. It was my understanding that we were going to spray this year without equipment. And we got it sitting out there, it hadn't been used, and we got several $1,000s worth of chemicals down there. And if we don't use them, I feel like they can probably go to the fans, and we are going to have a problem. And I don't say, well, we don't spray if we got the machine and got the chemicals, and it really doesn't cost us anything. Except the gas, but you know, go out and spray with it.
What's the hold up?
I don't know what.
Well, one issue was the trucks, right?
Yeah, let me explain that to you and for everyone out here. We do have the chemicals, and they're, as of now, they're good. We do have the equipment. What we don't have is a proper way to transport it. We don't have a truck. We're supposed to have one of the short flatbed trucks. Ideally, that's what you would have. there is a way to strap it onto just a regular pickup truck. Before we have to go out and buy something like that, we need to make sure we have something in the county, one of our vehicles that either are not being used in the evening or something that is not being used that we can go ahead and strap that onto. But that's really the only holdup. The other holdup is that there are pockets in the county that are affected right now with mosquitoes. But countywide, it hasn't been that bad countywide as far as in all areas of the county. We have had a relatively dry summer so far, but that rain season is coming. And when we discussed it first, we did say we didn't want to carry that on too many weeks because then we had to start buying more chemicals if we did do that. So we wanted to wait until a period where we're going to catch the full mosquito season, which would be in this area September and October. And because that's about how much of the chemicals that we have for about 8 weeks worth of spraying. So yes, we can go ahead and spray now. We can go ahead and start if you so decide. But we're going to start running out of chemicals in the latter part of mosquito season, and we don't know what's going to happen with the storms. We just don't know. And so that's just the reason behind the delay in spraying, because you just don't know how bad that season is going to be, and we wanted to catch the full mosquito season. So, we can always spray now, and we may have to spend a couple $1,000s more to get more chemicals. If we get to the end of mosquito season, we run out, and we're still kind of bad. Again, that's a decision you have to make. I'm fine with it either way.
Well, if we don't have a truck right now, you can get a flatbed trailer in the county that's got several, and mount it on it and pull it behind the Tahoe.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be an issue, getting it around right now. I mean, we can use one of our flatbeds, our trailers, we can go ahead and use the back of a pickup truck, and I think we can locate, like, even Tony Carter's old truck. We can get one of those trucks and use it in the evenings for that. But again, the other issue is how far we go before mosquito season, and how far we go into mosquito season when we run out of chemicals.
Mosquito season is now. In October, it starts cooling off. So mosquitoes not as bad
Well,
in October.
I think we need to be well calculated with it, because last year we had a major problem.
Yeah.
Bigger
We did have a problem. And the thing about it, when it cools off, that is typically the end of mosquito season. But as we saw this past year, when if you have storms and you have that lingering water, they'll go even into when it cools off. You'll still see mosquitoes.
Tony, what does that chemical cost? Is it real expensive?
I'm not sure how much it is a gallon or anything like that. Do you have any?
It's not too bad. I
So
think
won't we just go and start spraying to run out, buy some more?
I can't make that call. I mean, if you want to do it, that's fine.
I mean, the people complaining about the mosquitoes, go ahead and start spraying to run out, buy some more.
If we start spraying, will you go ahead and start spraying at the affected areas that you got people complaining now? If we do it
If we spray, see that's another issue that I'm gonna leave up to you to decide, because on one hand, if you spray just the affected areas, you do save some of your chemicals, but then really how fair is that to all the other taxpayers if you start spraying, you only spray areas just because people are calling in? I mean, I don't see a lot of affected areas, and we have been monitoring it, but we may have missed some. If you start spraying, we're going to just do the whole route.
Well, the most populated areas is where you ought to spray first. You
Well-
just got one house on the road that's 3 miles
Well,
long.
here's the thing about that. We're not going to be able to spray, and I want to make this very clear for people in the public. It's not out of choice or out of financially, but just out of effectiveness. If you have a house that's 200 yards off of the road or 100 yards off of the road, and you have woods and ponds between your house and the road, it's not going to do any good to spray there anyway, because that spray doesn't travel but so many yards, and you're still going to be affected, and it actually may push the mosquitoes closer to your house if we do that in certain areas. So we are going to have to just get the areas that are populated, and those who live further out. I mean, I just don't know what we can do, because there's just no way of actually spraying some of the real rural areas. Just no way of doing it effectively. So when we say we're going to spray the entire county, we're not talking about every road. We're talking about every populated area that it would affect. And if we're going to do that with some areas, we need to go ahead and do it with all of them.
And we got a lot of areas that, just like Riverdale and
Yeah.
where it's a lot of houses in one place. and you can get a lot of people at one time.
Yeah, I mean,
Put some stuff to the road on there.
Yes. Mr. Chairman, I would make the motion that we go and start spraying. We got 7 districts, and by the time you get around the 7 districts, you cover the county. But I think the thing is too, we need to notify the media what we're gonna do, because you still got people raising bees, ain't you, Mr. Buzz? Mr. Buzz, ain't you got people still raising bees and stuff?
I've got several people, and I've had people that got these swimming pools in their backyard or above the ground, and they can't use them because mosquitoes are swarming on the children.
He was talking about spray, he said people still raising bees on that, we'd have to notify about the spray.
Oh, yeah, we know where all the bees are. I think the 911 officers have got a list. If you spray after sunset, it's not gonna bother the bees anyhow, because they go in. If you know where the bees are, just wait till later on to spray, you know, then.
well, typically we would spray after, it would be after 6 o'clock generally anyway, from 6 to like 8.
Yeah, I'm motion that we notify the media that when we gonna spray,
Yeah.
and we go and start spraying.
They notify by telephone and that.
We got a motion and a second. Start spraying for mosquitoes, any more discussion?
Well, I think the motion was to notify the media. We need to make a motion to actually start
I
spraying.
did both.
Okay,
I put it in one motion.
okay,
That we will notify the media that we go and start spraying.
Okay.
Once you go around 7 districts, you pretty much cover the county.
okay.
Got a motion and a second, any more discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? All right, 8, finance report.
This is as of August 27th. In the general fund, we have $3,925,126. Out of that, we've got accounts payables of $1,599,231, which leaves us an available balance to spend of $2,325,895.
Say that again, 2 million what?
$325,895.
Anything else?
That's it.
9, administrator report.
I have a few things I want to mention. First of all, I do want to let you know that the elevators were fixed, and they have been fixed in the city county building, so both of them are working. They're fine. Richard, do you have a final cost at that?
No, we've gotten it last.
Okay,
Bill.
so we'll get an information, we haven't gotten it yet, but they have been fixed. The next thing, the Newtown Park, we have gotten equipment in. They've already started putting it up, and it should be the end of this week, possibly by Friday when they finish it, and we're going to have it'll be able to be used after this weekend. Concerning that, the equipment that we took from there, the swings, we took to the park at Riverdale. That used equipment, we just took it there. Now we do have some slides that we're going to take to a different park. However, those slides need to have some sort of structure put to them. You have to mount them to something. So until we get something like that, and that may not cost but a few $100s to get that put together.
Tony, make sure.
Yeah.
That equipment, is that the same equipment we've been trying to get put down for the last 2 or 3 years that was purchased through the Schaefer Foundation?
It is. It's that same equipment. Okay. So, I mean, that's good. We finally got that put down. Rocks and gravel for the roads. The only problem we're having right now is that we are really short-handed with people there that actual operators for the dump trucks, and we've got to wait till everyone's actually free from other things that they're doing. Because we have had some pretty urgent situations as far as getting some roads fixed, but we are at a point now where hopefully Friday or Tuesday we can go ahead and get to the rock quarry and start getting those, getting that gravel. Because again, this money's already been approved to the CCC, so we're just waiting for them to be freed up to go ahead and pick it up. And
Question, Tony, are you full staff at Roman Bridges, or are you short?
no, we're not full staff, and we're in the process now, sitting down advertising to get full staff. the problem we're having staffing, and this is public information, we need people that have CDLs or in the process of getting a CDL, or who can get a CDL or be an operator for that equipment. Because it's not gonna do us any good to get any more people who can just ride the lawnmowers. We need to get some people that can actually do the,
I think
the
when we
equipment.
hire somebody out there, we need to give them 6 months probation period to get their CDLs.
Yeah, that's why I said get either have or get a CDL.
We probably need to put that in writing because it hadn't happened in the past. Somewhere.
Well, we have anybody in hand that we need to hire, or you got a full staff at the road?
No, we don't have a full staff, and that's the same. We are in the process now of getting ready to advertise for that.
So that's a requirement on the application, they have the CDL, so if they don't have it, will we still consider hiring them and giving an opportunity?
Yeah, and that's, I think what we're gonna do, and, you know, just let me know if that's okay. I think what we're gonna do is not require them to have it, but require them to be able to get it within 6 months. And that may open it up for us. But there's always one inhibiting factor, and that's pay. You know, we don't pay a whole lot compared to other places sometimes. We can't get people because of that, but we're doing what we can to try to get them. So, to answer your question, no, we're not fully staffed, but we're looking to get there. The next thing I wanted to mention to you is we will have the auditing, the company that did the audit, they're going to come in on the 11th, if we were able to get a call meeting then, to get the audit report. That's when they're available. That is 2 Wednesdays, 2 weeks from now. They're available to come in and do that report. That report, that audit that we did, and because of us, and by us I mean our office in Dillon County, we were, and we have for several years run pretty late with that. We've been pretty late, and we've almost gotten to the point where state withholds money. Just putting this out there. This year, right now, for the new audit, we've already started. So that'll be done by November at the latest. So we won't even be running close to being past the deadline, which is January 1st, is when it's supposed to be done. But we'll have that done in November. We won't have any issues as far as being late, and we'll be able to have that, so we won't have any dangers of losing any kind of state money. So I just want to make you aware, and that's going to cost to get that audit, as it does every year. But I'll be coming a little early this time to get money for the audit. Any questions about that? I do want to say, we're going to talk about the landfill issues that we have as far as the contractual matters that we're dealing with in executive session, but I do want to say publicly that, yes, we've had some problems with some of our equipment at the landfill. It's an ongoing problem. It's been that way for years, that we are going to, and I've talked to several council members, we're going to work to fixing that. We're not going to keep making excuses for late pickups and not picking up. We're going to fix the equipment. That problem's been going for so long, and you know, when you, as they say, kick the can down the road, you always say one day it's going to come back to bite us. Well, this is that day. We've been kicking it down the road for years and years, and now we're at a point where almost every piece of equipment we have has something wrong with it. So we're going to take the time to fix these things. We're going to spend the money to do it, or we're going to forever have these problems. We're going to lose some of our customers. We just need to go ahead and get that taken care of.
Let me say, make sure, Clyde, but I know you're fairly new, but this is the first time I've seen this garbage breakdown like this to be as bad as it is.
Yeah, it's bad.
Churches are running over. My church purchased a trash can from the county, and it's just running over on the ground. I've got several calls this morning. I mean, I've never seen this before. Now, this is new to me, to this extent. I'm just going to be honest with you. And I know you're a new one, so you probably didn't know that.
Let me just say, when you, now what's is before I got here is the fact that we had the money designated to get a new front loader. and that was not purchased when it was supposed to be. I don't know, again, I don't know how that happened, but that was designated to be purchased. So, again, when you do things in 2013, 14, 15, and 16, sometimes it takes until 2019 for it to come back and bite you.
Yeah, that part I get, but I think the point I'm trying to make is simply that when we see equipment to that extent that needs something done, I think we need to move up on it.
Well, the piece of equipment the piece of equipment that's causing that problem is the front loader that wrecked. Now, that's something you can't see happening down the road.
Something like that's
But-
emergency.
Right, and so that's why we have now where we're actually going to buy another one. With the money, this time we're going to use the money for what it's intended for. We're going to buy the front loader. And this time we're going to actually fix another front loader, so we'll have two as opposed to one. So not only is that problem going to be taken care of, but it's going to be taken care of to where that solution will last for years to come, not just plugging a hole in it. See, that's what the problem has been over the years. We just plug a hole in something and then expect for it to hold up. We're not going to keep doing that. We're going to have to fix the things completely so that we can, maintain the service. But again, I just wanted to express that, yes, we are aware of the issue with the trash. And we're doing everything we can to fix it. In fact, with the thing that you vote on today, the gate, that is about, what, 2 days or so before it fixed? Richard, get fixed?
Yeah, he said about 2 days.
It takes about 2 days to get fixed. There may be 1 or 2 other issues that may take a day or so to get, and by next week, we'll have it back on the road. So, and it's not something we're just sitting on. This is something that we're working on actively. The last thing, I just want to mention that one of our employees, Cassie Goins, we're having a fundraiser, not us, but friends of hers are having a fundraiser, and I just wanted to make everyone aware. She's a county employee. Her daughter had open heart surgery, and she's having a fundraiser, for some of the expenses. Some of her friends are doing for her. They're selling barbecue sandwiches and plates at 5722 North Highway 501 in Marion. And that'll be on Friday, September 6th, 2019. So I just wanted to make everyone aware of that. Any other questions about anything else?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Last year, the time Judge Birch came in and talked to us about certain things we could and couldn't do for the council, for dealing with employees. Now, I mentioned this to you about this problem at the the chain gang, since we're talking about equipment. Now, I know I can't directly go to Steve Moody and tell them what to do for that equipment out there, but I can dress you with it. Now, they got a lawnmower they purchased out there 2 years ago. John Willie Brown supposed to cut the grass or whatever. But somebody out there got a problem with him riding that lawnmower, and I got a problem with why he can't ride. And I mean, I can't say nothing to them. I got to dress you with it.
Well, for every story, you're going to have a counter story. I'm aware of the situation, and one thing that what we're going to do about that situation, or it's already happening. They're scheduled to get another lawnmower anyway, another new lawnmower. So there'll be 2 new lawnmowers. So there won't be an issue of who gets to ride what. And that's why I addressed it already with Steve, but I haven't really been, pursuing it so vigilantly because I know we're getting another lawnmower anyway. Now, when that happens, then there'll be 2 new lawnmowers, and there won't be any issue of who gets to drive what.
I mean,
Now, as far as why, that's something that it's not set in stone. If that's the reason, there are other issues.
I mean, the word I got that they said, well, he can't drive because he turned up equipment.
Be careful discussing employees.
That's what I'm saying. And we should be. That's why I'm not trying to do anything.
I just got a problem with the lawnmower situation.
Well, again, if like I said, I don't want to get anything in specifics about it. That's why I'm not being specific about it, because we are in open session and it is a specific employee we're talking about. So Like I said, we're getting new lawnmowers, and that won't be an issue. Well, like a new lawnmower, that won't be an issue as far as what you raised. Any other questions? All right.
10, ordinance readings. A, third reading, authorizing the issuance and sale of not exceeding $1 million general obligation bonds in one or more series of Dillon County, South Carolina, fixing the form and details of the bonds, authorizing the chairman of the county council and county administrator to determine certain matter. Requires a motion.
I make the motion.
Motion need a second.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? B, second reading, an ordinance to convey 0.352 acre, more or less, which is a portion of tax map number 107-00-00-022 to the South Carolina Department of Transportation to grant permission for construction and other work on S 45 Lester Road and other matters pertaining thereto.
Make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Motion and a second. Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? C, second reading. An ordinance authorizing the execution and delivery of a fee in lieu of tax agreement by and between Dillon County, South Carolina, and a company known to the county at this time as Project Craft with respect to certain economic development property in the county, whereby such property will be subject to certain payments in lieu of taxes, including the provision of certain special source credits. And the county will provide certain roadway and infrastructure improvements to the site and other matters related thereto. Requires a motion.
I make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Motion and a second.
Any discussion? Mr. Young, Mr. Tony, I do assume that all due diligence has already been done concerning this issue.
Yes.
I second the motion.
Motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? D, first reading, an ordinance by Dillon County Council to amend the official zoning map of Dillon County to zone a parcel of land known as tax map number 058-00-00-056 from a rural to light industrial or industrial development.
Make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Got a motion, need a second?
Second.
Got a motion, a second, no discussion. All in favor? Any opposed? 11, proclamations. A, St. Paul AME Church 40th Homecoming Celebration.
You got the L?
Mr. Chairman, I'll read the proclamation to you. It's a proclamation, St. Paul AME Church 40th Homecoming Celebration. Whereas St. Paul African Methodist Episcopal Church, 1720 Bonsall Court, Dillon, South Carolina, Floydale community will celebrate its 40th homecoming celebration on Saturday, August 31st, 2019, and Sunday, September 1st, 2019. Whereas the homecoming event is an annual celebration of fellowship that pays homage to each other with love and faith with the descendants of the forefathers of the St. Paul African Methodist Episcopal Church and the descendants of Barney Campbell, 1813 to 1917. Which they began the tremendous task of creating a strong foundation of faith and family for future generations. Whereas this celebration is a time to reflect on the history of homecoming, the legacy and heritage to acknowledge ancestors and their accomplishments, a time to embrace out-of-state and out-of-town members, guests, visitors, and families. Whereas on Saturday, August 31st, 2019, there will be a meet and greet fellowship with a traditional fish fried dinner. There will be a tour of the Old Page Cemetery and Campbell's Bridge. The cemetery is also the site of the Reeves Plantation where the ancestors of Barney and Chloe and Martha Page Campbell lived with their children. Whereas on Sunday, September 1st, 2019 at 11 a.m., there will be a worship service at St. Paul AME Church with Holy Communion, the Lord's Supper, and dinner will be served. The 40th homecoming celebration will end with a gospel program at 4 p.m. Bring your children and have them learn of our rich heritage so our ancestors will not be forgotten. Whereas the community of Floydale, South Carolina was built with St. Paul AME Church being the beacon of spiritual fulfillment for their families. Now I therefore, Stevie Grice, Chairman of Dillon County Council, Dillon, South Carolina, do hereby proclaim August 31st, 2019 and September 1st, 2019 as the 40th homecoming celebration. And it's in witness whereof I set my hand and Stevie would sign it as chairman on behalf of the council.
Do we have anybody here from St. Paul AME Church? 12, resolution.
Need a motion.
Need a motion, sorry.
Make a motion, Mr. Chair, that we approve the resolution for St. Paul AME Church.
Motion is second. Motion is second. All in favor? Any opposed? 12, resolution. A resolution authorizing the execution and delivery of an inducement agreement and mileage rate agreement by and between Dillon County, South Carolina and Project Craft, whereby under certain conditions, Dillon County will execute a fee in lieu of tax and special source credit agreement with respect to a project in the county whereby the project would be subject to payment of certain fees in lieu of taxes, and Dillon County would make available certain credits against fees, payments, and reimbursement of investment in related qualified infrastructure and providing for related matters. Requires a motion.
No move.
Motion in a second.
Second.
Motion in a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? 13, appointments. A, reappointment of library trustees Tommy Stevens and Gail Colton.
Make a motion. We reappoint Mr.
Second.
Motion in a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? B, Planning Commission, District 1, James Campbell.
No one at this time.
C, Planning Commission, District 5, Harold Moody. D, Economic Development Board, District 3, Archie Scott.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Ronnie Gordon previously served, and on that board, he got the contact, and he told me that he has now moved out of the county, moved over into Lee County, and then he resigned to get that spot up. So at this time, I make a motion that we appoint Mr. Henry Eugene Cow in his place.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Henry Eugene Cowell, got a motion and got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Can I think the motion needs to clarify.
That's his middle name.
No, it ain't. He's a Robbie guy.
I
work at Eugene first.
What's your name was Henry?
Ask my lawyer.
Mr. Robbie Cow. That's the motion. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? 14, executive session, economic development matter and landfill contractual matter. Requires a motion.
No move.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Any opposed? Now, action was taken. We'll move on to number 15, adjournment. Requires a motion.
No move.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Any opposed?